There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. Oh, looks like the starting down calculator is... Oh, there it is. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Eli with Pokémon USA. Want to thank everyone so much for stopping by on the channel. Apologize for the delay of the stream. I had a little bit of a meeting that ran late. For those of you guys that don't know, Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is usually when we post videos. But obviously we had a little bit of technical difficulty issues yesterday, so I will actually be dropping yesterday's video live on stream today. But as always, if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for those of you guys, of course, that are new, just make sure that you have fun. And as always, this is a Q&A session, so you're able to ask any sort of questions that you want in terms of learning anything that I can answer your questions for with Pokemon. So let's, without further ado, start saying hi to everyone that is here. Lysius, what is up? Andrew Weeks, TT, and then we also have Pika, good to see you. RD, Spider X, Weezer88. Man, a couple of new people here. Your shop open yet, Lysius says. No, my shop is currently not open, so the expectation is it is going to be open on the 28th. Well, it's technically open, but it's a soft launch. It'll be open in 3 days, though. So my face keeps cutting off the screen. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I want to make adjustments to that. I don't like the fact that my face is cutting off. Wow, why is my face kind of zoomed in like that? It's like I'm either too high or I'm too low if I talk into the mic like this. So might need to zoom myself out here. But yeah, no, it's currently not open yet. In terms of like the hard launch, you can still go in and buy stuff, but I personally will be flying down there in 3 days to be there for like the full-on official launch. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a fun time. Can somebody tell which protective used for Japanese booster boxes? Well, I know that you can go. Sorry about this. This thing's bugging the crap out of me. I know that you can go. Ooh, that looks better. I know that you can buy specific, like, customized ones on eBay. I'm not 100% certain who to, like, best refer you to on that, but I know that for me personally, whenever I want customized sealed plastic cases, I just go on eBay and they usually have it. Protective cases for monitors of waste, just lock in somewhere safe. I mean, but it has less to do with protective cases, Lysius, and it's cool to display. Why waste? I have 14 $200 boxes. Well, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Are you looking at trying to protect it in a case or protect it? Oh, I guess you did say, can somebody tell which protective case? But no, you said protective cases. Are you trying to protect booster boxes or booster box cases? Because I feel like that's two different things. Because for me personally, I like protecting booster boxes for the purpose of display, but if you're doing cases, then you just put them in sealed cardboard, I feel like, for me personally. I don't want to store them without protection. Understandable. Dang, I have a meeting that starts at 1:30. I'll try to join when my meeting's finished. Well, thanks for stopping by anyway. Like I said, man, I'm running a little bit late right now, so I do apologize. It was not my expectation to be running as late as I am, so I do apologize for that. Here, I have an idea. I'm going to zoom out a little. That's in. We're zooming out a little bit more. That way that you can see my face a little bit more. I don't think it's a waste if you have sealed collection you're displaying chemically. No, I agree. TCG has a cool one for Japanese booster boxes, but yeah, that's the thing, man. It can be really expensive, acrylic cases. I guess you have to look at it in this way, TT. Personally speaking, if you're going to display, I usually buy a case of like an acrylic case for one to display, but then if I'm keeping them sealed, then I feel fine keeping them sealed in like cardboard boxes that I can tightly wrap and like protect long term. It's kind of like when you buy a case of booster boxes in the United States, they have obviously cardboard that's specifically designed to keep them sealed and protected. So you just do that. I mean, if it can go through a shipment process and not get damaged and destroyed, then I think you'll be fine with just finding a custom box that's going to be much cheaper for everything than trying to throw an acrylic case on each one. unless it's for just self-displaying. Pika says, I just throw them in a tub and close the lid. Arrange them. LOL. Throw equals arrange them. That's funny. What's up, Coolest Shibe? How we doing? Mimichick, what's up? Seneko, good to see you as well. Hopefully you guys are all having a good day. But PokePay, thanks. Yeah, of course. But yeah, so let's talk about, obviously, so what today's video was supposed to be, spoiler alert, and of course as well we can still talk about it, but it was going to be my top 5 pickups was going to be what the video was for today, which it still is going to be. Obviously, I just had a little bit of, how do I want to say this, issues with my thumbnail creator just kind of going MIA for a second. So I am, of course, going to, he got back to me late last night and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I completely spaced creating the thumbnail. And then, you know, he got it created, but I didn't want to drop the thumbnail at 11 o'clock at night. So I was like, that just doesn't seem the best. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just do it later today instead so I can try and get, obviously, some better engagement, because I doubt a lot of people are watching my videos at 11 o'clock at night. But so I'll be posting that relatively soon. I might do it either live on stream here, or I might do it after. I think I might do it live on stream. Just makes more sense that way for me personally, just because I can get better engagement from you guys. But yeah, if you guys want to talk, we can talk about my top 5 picks, because we still have quite a bit of things. For those of you guys that aren't a part of the Discord or just recently joined the Discord, but actually a couple of those ones that I specifically had, one of those ones I specifically pulled from my top 5 was on the actual Discord deals channel. So that's something that I would definitely recommend if you're interested in seeing a sneak peek of some of my picks, because since we've had the deals Discord channel, we've had actually a really, like, a ton of opportunities for people to just drop really good price product that I highly recommend you guys go check out. So I mean, obviously the Celebrations Charizard thing is still available right now, but it's, you know, $22 a piece, and you can only buy 1 instead of 2. However, I did recently see, for those of you guys that don't know, I want to give a shout out to PSA Pikachu. For those of you guys that don't know, PSA Pikachu is currently doing a sale where you can buy a Silver Tempest booster box for $90. That is the cheapest I've seen anywhere. So you want to talk about a really good dollar cost price. Highly recommend that you guys go check that out, because that will be of really good opportunity. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I would say with that. I'm surprised there isn't cheaper alternatives similar to Funko Pop protectors. You gotta imagine that, right? I bought 50 Zard UPCs from Walmart. Good pickup. Well, if you're buying them for $120, I think long term they're a great pickup, but I don't necessarily condone picking up 15 Blazer. That's kind of a scalper play. 1 king in 5 years, can't make that prediction. Obviously, market plays a factor on if it's something that you see, if we're in a recession or not. But I could definitely see it doubling in value, especially considering how much it's dropped recently. Evolving Skies booster box on TCG Player on 243. Really, have they gone down? I saw it at 260 the other day. We can actually pull that up and take a look at it. Let me see if we can pull that up on the other screen. Yeah, man, Silver Tempest still going down. Talk about an opportunity, man. That's crazy to me. Let's take a look. We're just going to do shop all best selling because we know it's going to be on the top page. Cheapest price. It is currently sitting at, yeah, no, it's around 263. So this is 243, but you can see here it's $15 shipping. So it's actually, if we're being realistic, it's basically 260. So, yeah, no, it's still going up, man. Prices are still going up. Is that Rattle? Basenka? What do you mean Rattle? Like Rattle Pokemon? Or is there a Rattle that you're hearing? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, good sir? The EV Heroes 10 bundle at Costco is a good deal. All the tins have 2 Evolving Skies packs. Yes, I 100% agree, man. Oh, PSA Pikachu. Oh, is that Rattle Pokemon? I don't know. I can try and pull him up on Instagram. Hopefully it doesn't show any of my private information here. I'm just going to do Instagram and see if that just allows me to go to the login. Every time I just straight up look up Instagram, it always goes to my DM box. And I'm like, nope, not trying to show that. But PSA Pikachu, all I know is if you go on Instagram, you can click on PSA Pikachu. And as you can see right here, $89.99, PSAPikachu.com. So I'll give a shout out to him on that. We'll do a shout out live on stream. Pretty good deal. Planning on opening 25 and keeping 25 sealed. Opening 25, geez, dude, that's a lot to open. What do you think of the 25th anniversary box set, Umbreon? Is it a good time to sell or keep it for a little long term? Hold on, let me think what you're asking. What do I think of the 25th anniversary box set, Umbreon? Is it a good time to sell, keep, or is it longer? Are you talking about the Japanese box? I'm confused by the Umbreon box that you're referencing. Would it be a real scalper move going to grade for a PSA 10s? Well, I guess, I don't know, man. It's hard to say because you are buying it online. The question really comes down to, because there's such an argument, right? What is a scalper and what isn't a scalper? And I try and not throw that term around a lot because it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it can be such a negative term. But like, let's say someone goes into Walmart, right? Let's say there's 50 celebration, let's say there's 50 celebration boxes of like the Charizard Lances, right? And someone buys a cases of them, or they buy 2 cases, and there's 50, which means there's still a large amount remaining. Are they scalpers, or did they just buy a ton because they wanted to open a ton, right? Can you seriously go to a store and say to someone, oh, because you bought all of them on the shelf, therefore you're a scalper? Well, by saying they're a scalper, it's that they're reselling. But then of course, then there's the finite, oh, well, I'm investing and this is a long-term resell. Is that considered to be scalping? Oh, but I'm opening 25. You know what I mean? There's like such a finite like way of like calling someone a scalper or not. So I guess it does come down to intent, but that's why it's really hard to say. Because like for your instance, you're opening 25, right, to grade. Is that you're opening to grade because you want to get a PSA 10? You think it'd be really cool to get all of them in PSA 10 cards? Because at that point, you're just an avid collector that's buying a ton, right? And then you're saying, oh, but I'm, reselling some 25 in the future. Well, would that make you then a scalper at that point because you went to Walmart and bought them from Walmart versus buying them from another site? Like, it's hard for me to say that, and I'm not obviously faulting you for it because I don't blame you, man. Going to Walmart buying 50, like, go for it, man. You got that opportunity. That's sick. I guess where the only time I really get annoyed in terms of scalping is if you're going in store, you're buying up the entire shelf, and then I see you a day later have everything listed locally to resell at double the price or something like that. So that's just what I find crazy. Which Silver Tempest card do you think will be most worth? Easy, Lugia, no question. But you're saying Trainer Gallery, so probably the Rayquaza alternate art, no question. I think Silver Tempest Boost Box is gone at 89 deal. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Oh, you're saying it's gone, like it's sold out? Chinese exclusive Umbreon 25th anniversary box. So, John, I am actually unaware of that. The only 25th anniversary box I'm aware of is the golden box, which I think is great. With that being said, I don't want to give misinformation as someone who's not knowledgeable on that specific box, but we can take a look. I would imagine it's still something that, from just my own experience within the United States and other specific exclusives, whether it be in Japan or China, I'm going to give you the same answer, which is it's 25th exclusive box, which means it's more than likely going to be worth it. But just to take a look, just for funsies. But I mean, any of those specialty boxes, I'm a huge fan of. Like, that's just how I am, personally speaking. Anniversary 25th. Hopefully that pops up. All right, I'm assuming it's this box. Ooh, that's cool. I mean, I think it'll do fine. Like, I think the box itself is going to be, I think it'll be collectible because obviously it is one of the 3, in terms of I shouldn't say one of the three. I mean, it's an evolution, and evolutions do well historically over time. Obviously, Umbreon being one of the most desired, sought-after ones because people love the art design for it. It has its own specialty box. It being, of course, also the #1 most expensive from the Evolving Sky set. I think that you're safe in terms of this pickup. Personally speaking, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I actually didn't know about this one, surprisingly enough. So I think that's really cool. But anything specialty, man, I mean, it's pretty hard. It really comes down to the price you're buying it for. If you're paying an exorbitant amount, like UPC, for example, like I would never buy UPC because of how expensive they are. But if you said, go buy Lance's V Charizard box for $22, like that's an amazing deal. You go buy that all day, you know? So that's where I kind of take everything into consideration in terms of purchasing it, you know? That's just where my kind of stance is on that. Oh, his deals seem to be sold out? Dang, that's a bummer. I mean, well, I mean, his deals sell out fast. It's understandable. It's an $89 a piece for... I mean, he's barely selling over what I'm buying for wholesale, so I think that's crazy. Scalping is definitely not black and white, but I think if you're buying sealed product and reselling it is, I mean, that's exactly it. While it is still in print, this is scalping. Well, so here's the question then. Take it easy, bro. Is it scalping if someone is buying it while it's in print and then reselling it when it's out of print? How about that? Or is it scalping if... What do we define as scalping? You know, is it if you buy it at a big box retailer? Is it if you buy it period? Is it if you buy it in stores at a big box retailer? You know what I mean? Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, Nicholas. Thanks for stopping by, man. Planning on reselling the PSA 10s I get. Will be sending 150 cards and hopefully I can make back my initial investment, right? So he's playing an opportunity to be able to flip it, right? And here's the deal, man. I'm not one to ever judge someone's money making, you know, with the way in which they do it. Like I said before, you know where my discrepancy is. My discrepancy is if I walk into a Walmart and I see someone taking all the product off the shelf, throwing it off on the shelf, and then I immediately see them selling it on Facebook the next day. That's where I get a little upset. And I'm not even going in to buy it. Like, I have a distributor. What do I care in terms of how that's going to affect me? But for me, I know that as someone who just recently opened an LGS, and a big portion of our fan base for the LGS is going to be centered around getting kids and parents into the hobby to be able to be our kind of main customer base, and you're seeing that they're not able to have access to that because people are scalping. Well, guess what? That'll be good for us because they'll be coming to our store. But at the same exact time, it still sucks because they don't have that opportunity to get it at other big box retailers. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how I look at it, which is what I'm trying to, with the LGS, I'm trying to get rid of, you know? That's just my personal opinion on the matter, though. But I don't know. Like I said, man, it is a hard one to say. Because it's like you really want to. It's like you really want to be able to. How do I say this? There's just so many aspects of the hobby, right? You have your scalpers in the hobby, you have your long-term investors in the hobby, you have your playing collectors in the hobby, you have just so many different people that are in this hobby, right? So you have to be able to decipher, of course, which person you are in the hobby, and then whether or not you're going to, of course, still appreciate the hobby itself. Because I think you can still be someone that invests or flips things and appreciate the hobby. I mean, take a look, obviously, at people like, I don't know, Rudy or Rusty. Like, those guys obviously appreciate the hobby. They have their total different approaches. But what's to say that someone's sitting on $2 million worth of Pokemon product that they bought from a distro versus they bought it from a retailer who's more of a scalper at that point? Because if you're saying you bought it from distro, well, they're getting it for prices no one else is able to get it for, which is preventing people from the public to be able to buy it. How is that person more justified than someone that went and bought it second hand? It's just the way in which the cycle goes, you know? How do you deal with bots blocking pre-orders? That's a great question, Trax. In terms of bots blocking pre-orders, I mean, for myself personally, I've always just done a limit of 2, and I mean, from my personal experience, never really had to deal with bots. But that's just me. Because very rarely will I see that it's shipping to the same address, and if it usually is, it's usually brothers. I have a couple of brothers that buy from me that I know that live in the same house. Hi, I'm Trav, but you can call me Tinny. What's up, my guy Travis? How we doing, brother? Hopefully all is well with you. Hopefully everyone's having a good day as well. I apologize once again for the delay on the video, but I'm glad we've got a good amount of people in here now. But yeah, I was thinking about, anyway, pushing back my times. Obviously, we did more 1:30. I'm thinking I want to start doing it more around the kind of 1-ish time, just because I just feel as if we have a lot better of an engagement around that. And by engagement, I mean just more people are actively coming by and stopping to visit and ask questions, which is what I want. You know, I want you guys being active in the community. That's why recently I've been pushing the Discord so much. So I am, if you guys are down for it, thinking about doing 1 o'clock, especially too, because I had a lot of people really be like, hey, I can't make it to, I can't make it if you start at 3 or 2 o'clock, but I can make it if you start at 1 and I can be here for an hour, just whatever works best for everyone. I feel like the Zard UPC is so readily available for retail, it doesn't hurt that I bought them at 50. Well, that's the thing, man. I'm not going to be the person, Laser. Like, obviously, I apologize for making the comment that I did at the beginning. It wasn't trying to be geared in a negative way. I just said that obviously that wasn't something that I would do, but who's for me to say what someone can or cannot do? And don't feel conviction in your decision to do that because other people didn't go out and buy that much. Because here's the deal, man. Like you said, they are currently readily available. It's super easy to pick up UPCs at MSRP at this point, which is awesome. And you're just trying to make an opportunity out of that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Is someone a scalper because they just bought 50 of one specific item at MSRP and knowing that everyone else can go access that at MSRP readily available? I don't see what the problem is with that. Pokey just spent $50,000 in sealed product from a special private collector. Really? What specifically did she buy? TJD says, my. On my way home from work, how's everyone? I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing well yourself, my guy. Gabe, hi, Eli. Just send positive vibes. Hope all's well. All is great. I'm really glad that you're sending positive vibes, man. Glad to see you here. For those of you guys that don't know as well, I mentioned this before, but I am going to be out of town on Thursday, so I won't have a live stream this upcoming Thursday. And that is going to be because your boy is going to be down for the live opening of the shop. I might have to do a live stream for it at some point. Would love to be able to do that. I think that would be so fun to do. So maybe I won't do a live. Maybe I won't do a live during the afternoon, but I can do one on opening day instead and be like, yo, guys, who wants to do a live for the LGS and check it out? Or I can do just a short video post and then do just like TikToks of it or something. What do you think about the elemental power tins with original packs, team up, ancient origins, lost origins? What do you mean by that, Ryan? In terms of like, what are my thoughts on their designs, their investability? Like, can I buy them cheap? Like, what are your questions on that? Which modern specialty set do you recommend for investing other than Hidden Fates? I mean, that's a pretty easy one there. Jason, in terms of which one I recommend investing in. You guys know I'm super hyped right now on Silver Tempest. I think that's a really good, if you're talking about, but you did say specialty sets. Oh, if you're talking specialty sets, I would say that I'm a huge fan of Shining Fates at what you're able to get it for, and I'm a huge fan of Pokemon Go. And I know a lot of people are going to say, why Pokemon Go, especially considering how much I was crapping on it. But I'm going to make this comparison for those people that are new right now to the channel. So I'll say this once more. But Pokemon Go, when you take a look at the set overall, right, what do we not like about Pokemon Go? We don't like, one, for the most part, the alternate Mew design. We don't like the Pokemon Go stamp for the most part, and we don't like over the fact of the matter that there's a very much saturated, like an unsaturated amount of hits. You've got Radiant Charizard and the other trio of shinies. You've got a couple of rainbows, and gold stars, but there are not gold stars, but gold Pokemon, and they're all centered basically around Mewtwo and a Dragonite. There is not a lot to like here, right? So you're saying that why is this set any good? Well, nostalgia in time is always going to be, from an investment perspective, your greatest ally. Go take a look at a set like Shining Legends. For those of you guys that were around during the time of Shining Legends, people were struggling to sell Shining Legends at $40, which is like crazy. Like MSRP is $50, and that's for a set that we go back and look on right now. We're saying, hey, these packs are going for $30 a pop. This was an art design that people absolutely hated. And then with that, you had, of course, your Shining cards that people liked. Shining Mew, Shining Rayquaza, Rainbow Mewtwo. How is that not a very similar comparison? We have our own Alt Art Mewtwo. This is their variation. We had our own Rainbow Mewtwo. This is their variation. They have a Rainbow Raichu. We had a Rainbow Dragonite. They had a couple of high-demand shiny shiny Pokemon. We had our own shiny trio of the original starters. This is a very comparable set that I feel like did really poor out the gate, and people really just hated on it. And then now it's done extremely well because it's aged well over time, because people like to collect the characters long term. It has very similar characters as it does with the old one, or of Pokemon Go. And so for that reason, I think for how cheap it is, I think it's a great opportunity. The only thing I would say that separates the two is the stamps of it being the Pokemon Go set versus Shining Legends, but I don't think that's going to affect it that great in the long term. So I would say that Pokemon Go, for that reason, is a super undervalued opportunity. And then obviously Shining Fates, don't get me wrong, Shining Fates can't compare to Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates is so much better. But when you're telling me I can go and buy $40 for an ETB, for a set that I think is going to do extremely well, because it is mimicking one of the best sets of all time, arguably, Hidden Fates, I think this is a set that'll do extremely well, especially since that the overall Galar games, Sword and Shield, were the highest grossing sale of all time for Pokemon games. So it has me to believe that there's going to be a lot of kids that grew up during this era that got into Pokemon because they were stuck at home playing Galar. And what those kids are going to do is they're going to grow up with nostalgia and starry eyes of Shining Faith, because that was the first ever experience they had with a true shiny set. So that's why I love the two. I like to look at it from an approach of how I can compare history and try and look at it from that perspective on why I think something can be extremely successful. And I would say those are two really good opportunities when you look at it from that perspective. She bought a bunch of black and white collection boxes and a few vintage boxes. That's really cool. I mean, I assume she's probably doing it for her mystery packs, or she's doing live breaks. What's up, DJ? Thank you so much for stopping by. Live stream fire. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, live stream, would that be fire? Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, we totally can do that. No worries. I love your videos and stream. Yeah, of course, man. And I appreciate you for stopping by and asking questions. By the way, Trax, the ETB in her video were for consignment and not what she bought. Oh, really? Interesting. The investability, because the 40 card pretty much at the same as the Arceus V-Box, but better pack. Interesting. So I will have to look up the elemental power tins. Let me see if we can look this up. And this might actually be something good that we can have a discussion about too, that we've never talked about. Pokemon elemental power tins. What is the promo for the Pokemon elemental power tins? Is it these evolutions? Is it these ones? Obviously, if you look at the pack selection, you gotta imagine probably not, but who knows? Maybe there's a different print. Also, did you see the pushback Magic the Gathering is having right now? It dropped by 35 in the stock market. People are sick of the money grabs. Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about that from Rudy, and I think that's awesome. I think that is great, that they're finally, of course, getting the backlash that they deserve, because listen, I'm not someone that's obviously really invested in Magic the Gathering. It's not necessarily my thing in terms of just general expertise, but what I can tell you is, as someone who does avidly follow Rudy, and I do somewhat keep up with what's going on in that market, I can tell you that the overall money grab greediness that's been going on with them, I do think that they're going to pay the price on that. Also, I just realized, guys, I am not playing chill Pokemon music in the background. We need to fix that. We need to get some relaxing Pokemon music in the background. Otherwise, people are going to start leaving, man. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I definitely think it's good because that will keep other card games in line, I feel. What's up, Polaris? Ahoy, Mart. What's going on? Nothing much. We're just all talking about different investment opportunities. It is good. What are you say? I don't know what you mean by that, Ghoul. I apologize. Watching while at work is a slow day. Thanks. Yeah, of course, man. Well, thanks for stopping by, Christian. Good to see you here. John Boy, what did I miss? Oh, we stupid meeting. Oh, that sucks, my guy. Oh, what did you miss? We were talking about some of the best pickup opportunities right now for specialty sets in the Sword and Shield era. We were talking about what really defines the scalper, especially considering now that the Ultra Premium Collection Charizard boxes are readily available and people are buying them a lot more readily available. Is that to consider scalping? And there's just a couple of other things. Oh snap, my UPC just shipped. Heck yeah, Babe Cakes. First and foremost, good to see you. Same with you there, average player. But yeah, and then also talk about the fact that I'll be flying out in 3 days. Or actually, I'm flying out in 2 days. I will just be there on Friday for when the new LGS launches. So if you guys want to, we can talk about doing a big live stream for that, and it could be really cool to kind of check it out and have you guys watch. Or I could just do a pre-recorded video on it, whatever you guys would prefer. I just would have to find a time on the best way to do it. What's the best thing to buy from the Pokemon Center store for redeeming special delivery Charizards? So speaking of deals, we're actually gonna, if for those of you obviously that are here right now, some of you are new, are wanting to take advantage of any sort of deals you could potentially find out while here, we might have one for you. So for the longest time, the Arceus V boxes were my favorite pickups in terms of deals. However, those obviously have recently gone away. There is an individual, and I can give him a direct shout out. Let me see how far back I have to scroll up. Was this in general that he posted? I'm trying to see where specifically he posted. But anyway, there was an individual, I'll find it if someone in the Discord wants to help, that mentioned that they had bought some of the premium balls that were listed on the Pokemon Center website. Now, for a while there, people were not buying those premium balls because they had deceptive advertising showing images of packs that they did not end up actually receiving, some older packs. With that, we had an individual send us a video of him opening those Pokeballs and receiving an Ancient Origins pack, as well as some other older era packs. So, with that being said, he informed us that today we're going to be hearing back from him on if there's a full confirmation in regards to, because he bought 10 or 11 more, a full confirmation on whether this was true or not. Because it could have been a one-time thing. We have absolutely no clue whatsoever. But we're going to get an update on that shortly, I would say. So I will make sure to keep everyone posted on what he says for that. But yeah, I'll definitely make sure to keep everyone posted on it. Oh, his name is Danny Zard TCG. So I will keep you guys. That is his tag. I can see as well if I can find the exact thread on where he was talking about it. Looks like he posted in the deals channel. Kind of expected that, but I think it was farther up. We've just been having so many people. Yeah, it was in the deals channel. So he has a bunch of links to his videos. If you guys want to go check that out, I can show you where on the full scroll up. So, but it's around this point on the deals channel if you aren't a part of the Discord. So that will be a fun video to actually discuss. If that's something that really comes down to any sort of eventful news, I would be more than excited to say, hey guys, we're going to get some Ancient Origin opportunities for packs. That'd be insane. What were the other packs that he said? He got Ancient Origins, Crimson Invasion, and a Burning Shadows. 6 packs to pick up, that's for sure. Alrighty. But yeah, to answer your question, Jose, that could be potentially a good amount of that could be a good thing for you to pick up. Just like get 2 premium balls or 3, depending upon how much they are, to get you over that $25 price point. I've seen 36 sets of Charizard UPC promos, and none of them have been even close to a 10. Yikes, buddy, that's tough. I left my phone down watching Danny Phantom talking about Lost Origins going down and crapper the value. Then I ended up redirecting here. Well, hey, Chugs. Nice to see you, man. Glad to see you a part of the live stream. Obviously, if you have any questions, this is a Q&A that we like to answer any sort of investment opportunity questions that you have, or if there's anything you think that you want to add to the conversation. Like for our last live stream, when adding to the conversation, we had the UPC drop go live, and we were able to get a lot of people to, of course, hop in on that and be able to take advantage of that opportunity. Right now, we could potentially have really good opportunity in terms of premium balls having some older X and Y era packs and Sun and Moon era packs. So whatever you have suggestions on, if you think, hey, I noticed this, can you check this out if this is legit or not, I can point you directions to that. Or if you're like, hey, what's a good investment opportunity, then I'm here to talk to you about that as well. Do you work or do you just buy and sell Pokemon? Good question, Zelda. So I used to work, I used to do this part-time, and then I would work another job, and I really wanted to focus on growing this business because it's something I want to do full-time. So as it stands currently speaking, I am now in the process of becoming full-time for this. Once I officially fly down to the LGS, because I am visiting, I live in Arizona, but the LGS front is being located down in Oregon, that should officially set me up for being full-time. I'm just going to have to do a lot of things remote. But I would like to do that. There's some other things I also need to do in terms of upgrading, because for those of you guys that don't know, I've been trying to make a lot of studio upgrades. You know, I think that I could have some more LED lighting in the background. I could have some better picture quality in terms of having a secondary camera for when I do breaks. I want to upgrade my mic. I want to upgrade my desk so that we can have better backdrops. There's a lot of things I want to improve upon, but I sadly can only do baby steps. And then obviously we're going to be opening up bulk pretty soon here again, so I'm going to be in charge of that. And then any sort of just general breaks, live streams, videos, quality, Patreons. There's so many things I'm going to be doing that's going to push me more full time. It's just baby steps in the process right now. So main priority right now is going to be the lead up to the LGS. So that's what I'm excited about. Pika's like, I was wondering where the music went. Well, it is here now, baby. It is here now. Jason K says Best Buy has EV Radiant Collection boxes on sale for only $34.99. Well, Jason, you will be happy to know that in terms of my video that obviously I said I was going to be posting, that is going to be one of my top pickups for my top 5 card investment opportunities for October 22. That is kind of, and it's funny too, for those of you guys that are interested in why I titled the video what I titled it. It was the video I'm going to drop live in a second here, but it's top 5 Pokemon card investments for October 2022. The reason why I said October 2022 is basically because I like to make sure that you guys know that every single month, at the end of the month, I like to make updates to a progressive rolling list of opportunities I think that you should pick up as a top 5. Now, does that mean that the other opportunities that I had in the previous month were not good opportunities? Of course not. They're still good opportunities. However, as more opportunities start to become more prevalent, then I, of course, am going to say, hey, you guys should go take advantage of these opportunities. So for those of you guys that are interested in watching the video, I do a breakdown. I actually just dropped the video live, I'm pretty certain, at around 2-ish. It should have dropped. But with that, one of them, of course, being the EV Radiant collection boxes. I think for $35 on sale, you guys know my stance on how I think that Pokemon Go is a completely underrated set. I think that box, having the playmat and the promo and the pin, is a really good opportunity. You know, still able to pick up some of the Celebrations boxes, of course, off of Walmart. You have to go to the direct link to find it. I had to do a link search in the Discord, otherwise I wasn't able to still access it. Obviously, still going with the brilliant specialty ETBs is something that I would say is still a really good opportunity. And then, booster box of of Lost Origin, man. That's gone down. I think we saw a deal for $89.99 recently on eBay. So prices on that have been going down, and I think it's a good time to start hopping in on that. So a lot of opportunities that have finally been popping up, and I love it. Hey man, glad to see you're doing well. It's Johnny Chael, one of your first giveaways. Love your content still. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for stopping by, HJ. It's always good to see people that have still stuck around, or at least, you know, come stop by and say hi. It's funny, man. I remember when I first did the giveaways, it honestly was what propelled the channel, was because I did them. And I know for those people that, of course, just recently won yesterday's giveaway, I do apologize for a little bit of delays in responses. I've been super busy and haven't had the chance to ship them out. But yeah, I've always loved doing the giveaways. It gets people involved in the community, and I feel like it's a good way to give back to everyone. How do you think they'll integrate the terrestrialized Pokemon into the TCG? I'm nervous the cards will look horrible and ruin the next gen. Good question, Polaris. I think that in terms of terrestrialized, I think they could do some really cool work with it. Here's the deal. You know what the VMAX card design looks like? Imagine VMAX card art designs, but with crystals on top of Pokemon's heads. I'm assuming they're going to have a very similar art style. What I would love to see them do, and I could potentially see this be a possibility, we saw with the two, I don't know if they're legendaries or not, but the two Pokemon that we ride in the game. They have a very much silver crystallish type bordering. I would love to see if they did something like that in terms of art design, and then it was like a silverish border slash, and then it had like, how do I want to say this? This is what I would love to see. You know V-Star Pokemon, obviously, right? With V-Star Pokemon, in terms of the overall art designs, you have your kind of silverish bordering, right? And then you have the color of, or the inverse coloring with the specific Pokemon type, right? So it's very much a black, and then it has that kind of silvering borders. I want it to be inversed. I think that'd be cool. I think if you could kind of inverse the design where it's very silvery, but then you have like kind of a fade of whatever the color typing is for that Pokemon, I think it could be a really cool design, because that way it gives you flexibility for specific Pokemon to just have, especially from a printing perspective. It gives you that flexibility to be able to print cards with just always having that kind of blank silver, and then, or crystal color, and then the outside is going to represent whatever the typing is for that specific Pokemon. So I think you could do a good job on that. I'm not extremely nervous about it. I think in terms of creativity, the Pokemon Company has been kind of killing it lately, so I'm not too worried about it. If anything, it really just comes down to the fact that I think that the designs for the crystals themselves are completely botched. But I also didn't like VMAX designs, but they still made a way for VMAX alt arts to look absolutely amazing. So Pokemon will find a way to make it so that people can love it. What's up, John Doe? Just got here. Hey, well, it's nice to see you as always, John Doe. Always bringing the important questions. What's up, TJ? Is that a shushing face? What are we saying here? I purchased the Charizard code, and I'm not sure what is up, but it ordered on the 10th. It's still processing. Anyone else having that issue? Interesting. In terms of when you say processing, does that mean on like the tracking code or what? Found 2 cases of C19 at Hobby Lobby. Nice. That's nice to see, Russell. Yo, what did I miss? Oh, you've missed a decent amount, my guy. We've been all over the place in terms of talking about things. Use my last SDC code. Arceus box is out, so I would recommend to buy Premier Balls, saying they have Cosmic, FS, and I think VV. So you're saying the D21 tins are balls? I mean, dude, that's a good opportunity. Definitely pick it up. Blockman Clutch says, hi, I'm new here. What's up, Blockman Clutch? Thank you so much. Welcome. Everyone give some welcomes to Mr. Blockman. Insert look at what they did to my boy meme here. Hilarious. That's so funny. Babe Quakes, wow, that's a new one. Babe Cakes, they usually ship pretty quick. I would contact customer support. Yeah, definitely do that. Found 2 cases of what they had at C19 is the code. Russell. I'm trying to see what you're in reference to. You said you found 2 cases of C19. What's C19 specifically are you referencing, Russell? 110, 1 bearish, 10 bullish on market. Where are you at? Scale of 1 out of 10. 1 being bearish, 10 being bullish. Am I on the market? Ooh, oh god. In terms of overall just... Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, it depends on the time frame you're looking at, because that always changes things. In terms of the overall long term of Pokemon, I think it's a 10 out of 10 bullishness. In terms of the short term, I would say I'm pushing more on the 4 or 5 range in terms of leaning more bearishness. And the reason why is twofold. I think, one, the market is in a position right now where it's been propped up for quite a while because there's been a decent amount of hype that's still in the market, and there's still opportunities for people to make money in the hobby. Now, obviously, a lot of it has started to dwindle in terms of big flipping opportunities, but there's still a decent amount of volatility. Look at Evolving Skies, for example. Look at Ultra Premium collections, these specialty boxes. And so there's still a decent amount of people within the hobby trying to take advantage of that. However, with that being said, you've started to see a lot of corrections, specifically in older products. Finally, having hit their high points, dropping anywhere between 30 to 70%, depending upon how rare or scarce the item was. And with that, a lot of them have been going sideways for now. People, of course, are always going to be under the presumption sideways, which means that it's going to turn up at some point. I would tend to disagree with that, especially when you talk about a lot of what's going on in the economy. And I would like to believe that right now we haven't really felt the full effects of that within the Pokemon market, and I'm really waiting for that to kind of happen. And when it does, you're going to see a lot of people specifically bleed out of the hobby, especially since MSRP is already being raised in big box retailers, and Pokemon across the board is going to be raising MSRP next year. I think that's going to filter out a lot of people that are wanting to be in the hobby and collect a lot more affordably and casually. Because let's be honest here, man. There are a lot of casual people that you still have to consider that are part of this market that don't really know where the opportunities are and able to pick up prices. And honestly, to wait till Distro also raises prices, that's going to be something that we'll have to take into consideration. What's up, John Fellers? Thank you so much, as always, for stopping by. What's your opinion on the Precious Collector's Box? Huge fan of it. Average player, absolutely love it. Think it's a really good pickup opportunity. Last time we discussed it, I don't know if the price has moved much, but last time you were still able to pick it up roughly around MSRP, and I loved it. Eli, saying premium balls, but means premier balls. Did I say premium balls? Listen, guys, I know I am really good at botching things, and I apologize for that. Aerodactyl. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Bad, bro. That is bad. I am sorry. Premier balls. Don't know why I said premium balls. Yeah, I love the premium balls, bro. I know. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I do that all the time. What is the name of the LGS in Oregon? It's going to be E4. Original name was going to be Elite Four, but we felt like having Elite in the name from a branding perspective was not a good idea. And then 2, we felt as if E4 was vague enough to where if you are a Pokemon fan, you get the reference in reference to Elite Four. And then if you're not alienated to coming to the shop. We're going to be very Pokemon-centric focused, but we're also still going to have a lot of opportunities for other people that want to both compete and collect other card games. So for those people that are interested too, I will direct us to our overall Instagram page. If you guys would like to see our official E4, where is it? My profile. Let's go to see who I'm following so we can take a look. There we are. So this is our official Instagram page. If any of you guys are on Instagram and you want to go check it out, you can do so. But for those of you guys that have been following me with it, basically we just recently did a mural for the LGS, which I think is absolutely amazing. I think that's so cool that we were able to have some artistic mural designs that centered around Pokemon for the overall LGS. This is what it looks plainly. This is just the pre-setup, so it is not officially set up completely, but the idea is we're going to have a big open space for a lot of people to compete in tournaments with. We're going to have a backdrop area, but we're going to clean up it. As you can see, we do have the mural design, but we're going to want to do a lot more with walls around here, making it really kind of cool experience when you come in. So that's something that we're working on right now. But yeah, and then for our official grand opening, for the first 500 people in the store on Friday and Saturday, you can get free packs of Pokemon cards. So if you do live somewhere near Bend, Oregon, you want to take the drive up, man, I will be there on the 28th. Or if you want to, of course, just get yourself a free pack for entering in the store. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I think it's I think it's gonna be a really fun time and opportunity. So I'm excited for it. Also, I might as well mention this. As always, make sure you leave a like, guys. Smash the like button. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave one. And then, of course, as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date on all things Pokemon related. And then, lastly, for those of you guys that don't know, we still got some Pokemon Mart USA special mystery packs. And for those who have been not following me or up to date on it, we increased our odd rates from 1 in 25 to 1 in 16 in terms of pulling gold packs, and we purposely weigh the packs in your favor. Main Power Keeper pack is going to be the Power Keeper pack is going to be the main pull. We made sure that it was a heavy for you guys to pull, so that you're not just getting some random light packs that some mystery prize packs were thrown in just because someone wanted to get rid of them in a creative way. Instead, we're weighing out packs specifically for you guys to be able to get the opportunity on pulling heavy gold and silver era packs. And then, yeah, as always as well, just because it's listed here doesn't mean that these are the only packs you can get. We have some Majestic Dawn packs you can pull. We have some Jungle packs you can pull. We have some other, Black and White era packs you can pull. So, a ton of really good opportunities to pull things. But yeah, we are excited to, of course, always be announcing that. But going back to questions, Eli making money moves, yes sir. When and where is the Premier Ball drop? So the Premier Balls are still there, Rip and Flip. The question is just, do we know if the Premier Balls themselves have the packs that we like in them? To what John Doe is saying, they are part of the D21, so hopefully they still do have at least Cosmic in them. But otherwise, I couldn't tell you what they have. I know that obviously we have soon to be an update of whether or not we have Ancient Ordinance in some of them potentially. Side note, finished through Platinum Series. Heck yeah, John Boy, I'd love to hear that, brother. We'll have to get in a call soon here. I do apologize for being unresponsive. I know that some people have been PMing me quite recently in the Discord, and I need to respond to a lot of individuals. I do apologize. Hey man, you think Charizard UPC will increase before the holidays? Yeah, if yes, by how much? We'll consider second wave won't come out until January. I think that they're going to decrease. I think, Abraham, you're going to see the UPC absolutely tank in price. You're already seeing it tank in price. I think it's down to 160 now. Let's go take a look on eBay, man. Let's go take a look and see what the UPC is going for on eBay. Because the prices on it have just been absolutely... they've just been absolutely horrific in terms of their just overall price corrections. And by horrific, I mean it's great for you guys, obviously. But let's see. Whoa, okay. Crocs apparently are what popped up, even though I typed in Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. Weird. But let's see. Let's see what we can currently buy at the moment in terms of pricing. So obviously 160-ish price point range is available, or $158.99. I am still seeing that as the cheapest one. Obviously, you guys know my opinion. I said that, of course, 140 was my new expected price point in which I'd be wanting to get in at. But honestly, guys, I think that's like a last case scenario, getting it at 140, because I think if you can easily get it at MSRP at this price point, or at this point, there's been so many opportunities to get it at MSRP, and I still think there's going to be a ton, especially once we get to opening day and you start seeing it readily available in big box retailers. And on top of that as well, you're going to see a lot of opportunity for you to be able to still pick them up on, third-party, second-party sites. Like, I personally believe that, patience has always been the virtue on this item, because with the second print coming near the end of the year is the expectation. And as we know, historically speaking, UPCs have dropped quite a bit on their opening release date, as there is a rush to the bottom when people list it. I would like to believe that that's exactly what you're going to see. So that's just my personal opinion. But, who knows with that? Who knows with that? Hello, I am here. What's up, Agent Crypto? Good to see you as well, my guy. Yeah, I got a few testers myself. Ooh, right on. That's definitely something you'll all have to keep us updated with. I would love to see if we can have people that are going in and buying the Premier Balls and just be like, hey, here's what I got. I doubt it, Abraham, just because there were so many printed. Yeah, it's going to keep crashing, in my opinion. Zarv bot, it's officially out of stock, Agent Crypto says. Dang, man. What do you think about the Japanese stamp box set? Absolutely love it. I absolutely love it myself, man. I think it's an amazing box. I think the design on it itself is extremely cool. Yeah, I mean, what's not... here's the deal, man. I think Japan they just do it right in terms of their overall designs that they have for the, you know, specialty boxes, whether it be the Precious box, whether it be the Stamp box, whether it be, I don't know, man. They just do it so well. They just do it so well. I love it. I think it's great. Terrestrial will look like Delta if they don't change the mold up too much. That's what I'm kind of expecting, something similar to that. That's a good point, John Boy. I think Pokeballs are all sold out on GameStop. I was going to take a shot. The Pokeballs that have Ancient Origins, Burning Shadows, and I think Crimson Invasion. But that's from the Pokemon Center website, if I'm correct, not GameStop. Do you think Evolving Skies gets another reprint? No question, Josh Lee. Question is really, are we going to get it sometime by end of the year, or are we going to get reprints sometime going into early next year? Don't know, but I would hopefully lead on the point of Pokemon Company usually likes to do reprints right before Black Friday. That's what I would like to believe. Now that Arceus V collection is gone, what is the go-to investing and spending over $20 on Pokemon for special delivery Charizard? Like we were just discussing, Nathaniel, I think that we're potentially going to see Premier Ball be the next opportunity. There has been reports of some older packs showing up, whether it be some people finding Ancient Origins, Burning Shadows, Cosmic Eclipse. So I would assume that that's probably going to be your next best bet in terms of picking it up. Let's go actually take a look on the Pokemon Center website with that. Let's go take a look and look at the Premier Ball. Because here's the deal. The reason why a lot of people stayed away from the Premier Ball for the longest time was because there was imagery that was very deceptive. It has Ancient Origins, it has Burning Shadows, it has Crimson Invasion. And a lot of people were saying that is deceptive because they never got that. But then there's been some reports of some people actually receiving it, you know? It's hard to know what's legit and what's not. Because some people have said, didn't get the packs that they wanted. Wrong pictures. But we have evidence of individuals, or at least what we think is evidence of that being in instances where you could get those packs. So we will have to do a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll have to do a little bit of market testing and see what you guys think about it. I know PC ETBs are a good value, but with the Charizard UPC, my funds are low and I'm kind of looking for something under $30. I mean, the PC ETBs you can grab for $35, man. Unless you're referring to on the website, then yeah, I would say grab 2 of these if possible. I don't know if that'll qualify you for shipping though, because that will qualify you for shipping because it's free orders on everything over $20. Yeah, you'll be fine. Buy 2 of those, and you can take the risk on it and see if you're right or wrong. Otherwise, you're getting packs out of it regardless. But I don't know, man. I would say that's probably your best bet unless you want to buy a bunch of loose packs, which Evolving is sold out. So you can't even get loose Evolving Skies packs. I mean, what else are you going to want to buy at that point? You know? I mean, you could buy figures and pins and stuff like that, or plushies if you might enjoy it. But I don't know. From a Pokemon perspective, I think you could potentially do that. Ooh, Hidden Fates Premium Collection. Man, remember that? That used to be $99. That's crazy. I love how they show it as if it's like a dice mat. Or a mouse mat. Sorry, a dice. What's the Elite Four? Will Will your store sell singles as well? Oh yeah, we're gonna sell a ton of singles. What's the Elite Four? Elite Four? And you don't know the Elite Four, PK? What the heck, man? Elite Four, you know, like the original Elite Four from the Pokemon games? If you haven't played the games, then I guess you wouldn't get the reference, but... Nick Nottingham, what's up, Eli? What's up, Nick? How we doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. But yeah, Elite Four, man. Every single video game for Pokemon has always had an Elite Four. Except for like 1 or 2, I think. Crazy watching ES booster box prices climb continually. Do you think it'll hit 300 before another reprint? Can't tell you that, John. It really comes down to when the reprint happens. Because if a reprint happens in 2 weeks, then obviously not. But if you're saying a reprint will happen until next year, then yeah, most definitely. I think you could totally hit 300 by end of year, no question. Did you say when you might be doing the evolving break? I did not, RD. I was wanting to do it before I left, but I've just been so entangled in terms of just buying a bunch of other product for both of the mystery packs as well as just the LGS that it makes it really hard for me to really want to exert a bunch of my capital for that. So I can't tell you as it stands right now when we're going to be doing the Evolving Skies break yet. Do you have a Japanese distributor? I do not. I would love one though. Have you seen the price for alt art Lugia in Japan? What do you think the English price will be? Oh my gosh, the alt art design? Well, let's take a look and see. I assume that they're probably on Polka Dot at this point. No, this is not the set. They don't have it yet. V-Star special set? Interesting. Man, I don't know. Let's go to Poke Beach. I'm trying to remember what the... Let's just, I guess we'll go to eBay. Probably eBay is the best place to buy it, right? Let's take a look. Lugia V Altar, what is it selling for, ladies and gentlemen? It is going for the low price point of... hasn't been sold yet. So we don't know what it's selling for because it hasn't sold, to my knowledge, from what we're seeing. However, what we can say is there any auctions that are active that we know that someone has bought it for? Does not look like it is on auction yet. So people just have it listed for around 700 plus bucks. But we don't know, man. We don't know if it's going to sell at that point yet. 700, 900. Yeah, there's so few listings of it. I don't know, man. I think it's too early to really say what the overall price is going to be for that. That's just my opinion on it. I would say be patient and wait. Ancient Origin and those elemental tins, the original print run anyway, it's 2 team up in AO and a Lost Thunder. So it's in the specific tins that I pulled up. So these elemental tins, I'm just making sure, Ryan, it's these specific tins, right? I bought a case from Pokemon Center after finding the 2 Hobby Lobby and there were the D21 at Cosmic in them. That's nice to hear, Russell. Then yeah, man, pick up those Pokeballs. What up, DigiSmith? Good to see you here, as always. Trax Phantom. Good afternoon. What's up, Patrick? Thanks for the content. When or where can we get an Evolving Skies ETB under 40 bucks? I mean, under 40 is kind of hard. I know that for myself, I can get them at Walmart for 45, or I can, if you're lucky, and they might still be in your Costco, which I doubt it, but if they were, you can find them at your Costco. But for 40 bucks, man, I don't know. I feel like at this point it's 45 is the new kind of price to find them at. $40 is kind of gone in all sad reality. So I don't know of anywhere I can really direct you to at this point. What's up, Catchem? How we doing? My guy. What's up, gang? He says. Always good to see you, Catchem. Picra says, I usually buy a booster box, but I'm thinking about a case of sleeve packs for Silver Tempest. It's like $15 cheaper compared to 4 booster boxes. Which one do you prefer? I mean, honestly, the sleeves will still do well long term, but think about it this way, right? If we are going and taking a look at the set Evolving Skies. All right, let's take a look at Evolving Skies. So the booster box right now for Evolving Skies is selling for roughly around $260, right? The sleeve packs are selling for roughly around $7. If we do the math and say 7 times 36, that comes out to roughly $252. So the value is there. However, one thing you also have to take into consideration is this. Which do you think is easier to sell? 36 blister packs at once or a booster box? I would argue that a booster box is easier to sell because there's more collectability to it. And from my own personal experience, it's really hard to sell a case of the overall blisters compared to the overall booster box because they're not as collectible as a whole when you're selling a case. Because people only need 4 art sets, right? So that's why I'm a huge fan of buying the booster boxes, because I think that the premium that you're going to get from long-term being able to sell it is going to be a lot better. Other than breaking it down and having to individually sell it as art sets, which you could totally do, but that's going to come at a price, and that price is shipping. Each and every one. Did I miss anything major? Nothing major. We're just discussing if the Premier Balls from the Pokemon Center website have the Ancient Origin packs. I know it's something we talked about a while ago, and we had kind of at first thought that we quashed it, but we've had recent potential news that there might actually be some, as someone took a video of them opening it and found some. It's been a while since Implies the Game Boy game. I've got a bad memory. Oh, no, you're all good, man. Japanese Lugia Altar on day 1 sold for a high of 180k yen. Whoa, really? Where did that sell at for? Because I didn't see that on eBay recent sales, so it must not have updated yet. Yo, what's up, Tomiko? How we doing? Well, I just asked someone in another Discord, and he said a couple weeks ago he got a PC premiere and had Ancient Origins Burning Crimson inside, so hopefully I get some advertised PC packs. I know, man. That's kind of where I am with that. I really am hopeful that it's accurate. Because if it is, man, that could be insane. That could be such good value. Is there a possibility to rent a little storage place in your shop? Probably not as it stands, ZS Noob, considering that we're using predominantly all of our storage for bulk. I mean, we already have about 250,000 bulk there, and with us accepting more, and we're going to accept at higher volume, hopefully. Sadly not. Sorry, left for a minute there. Not sure if you gave your opinion, but what do you think of Battle Styles booster boxes at $509 for a case? I assume is what you mean. Am I dumb? I am dumb. 84 bucks a box? That's not terrible. That's not bad. I mean, you're buying at wholesale still, and as long as you're still buying below wholesale, I think that's a good price. That's my opinion on it. You could have bought it at some point at around 75, 80 bucks. So you're a little late to the bandwagon in terms of price for this item, but as long as it's still under wholesale, I still like it. Have any of y'all heard or saw Silver Tempest in stores yet? I have not personally yet. John Boy, $50, it'll be a hunch. I mean, what? The Silver Tempest Lugia Altar? 50 bucks in 3 years. That sounds ridiculously cheap. That sounds way too cheap. I would think 100's more realistic. Well, someone else just responded, said he did get his Premier Ball today, which had Cosmic, Rebel, and Vivid. But so then what's the deal, John? Is it either we get an Ancient or we get a Cosmic? Because if honestly that's what we're choosing between, that's still really good. The Lugia Altar was going for around 80,000 yen in Japan. Don't think it's come down. That's 500 bucks. I mean, if it's selling for that, man, then that's what matters. My brother-in-law bought about 30 Silver Tempest checkpoint blisters Friday. Oh, really? Where at? And blisters doesn't matter as much now. They can't get packs way. True, John Boy. Will you be playing the new game when it comes out? Potentially. I know that's something that a lot of you guys have been asking for. It'll just be potentially hard to play while answering Q&As, so I might have to do separate videos on it. Or not. Ancient Origins is in the Elemental Power Tins, the original print run anyway. The two team up. Yeah, I already read you say that, Ryan. You just copy and pasted your thing. I'm just asking once again, are these the Power Elemental Tins that you're referencing? People are discussing it now that if it could be regional, where you're shipping to Premier Balls, you'll get from PC. Interesting. Hey, man, that goes back to what we've talked about with things being very regional. I want to get back to being active with that. We haven't done it in a while. Well, your average player, I think he's sold out now, because I was actually talking about that at the beginning of the video. Hey, sorry I've been in chat. I've been preoccupied. You're all good, man. Don't ever worry about that, Travis. Storing someone else's car seems genius to me. You make money every month for holding and then can offer to sell for a fee. I mean, it's entirely possible to do something like that, John Boy. My problem is just, how would you necessarily run an operation like that? Unless it's on a massive scale. Like, if you ran an operation where I just rented out warehouses and then you guys paid for the warehouses and then I got a little bit of premium on top because I was getting a discount at renting it out at a higher square footage. I mean, that's something that's a possibility. You know? I feel like there's a bunch of liability concerns that come into play with that unless you were to do, of course, negotiations on that. Well, let me ask you this. In terms of having a place to store stuff, how much do you need, or who was it? CS Noob, how much storage do you need? And what's your kind of idea on what you're wanting to do with that space? Because I have a ton of space in my office, but it just depends on how much of that is going to be taken up. Because now that most of the product's been pushed to the LGS, I have a bunch of empty Gorilla racks that I just don't have product on that I could keep it in if you need space. But if that's something you want to discuss later, we can totally discuss that. Just PM me on Discord and I'll respond. Koga, babe, we talked about this. Let's keep cool and love each other. She's Travis leaving me with all the bots. I see how it is. That's so funny. Oh, I didn't mean play the game on stream, just in general. I think it would be difficult to enjoy. Yeah, no, exactly, man. I probably will play the game. I'm gonna buy it, no matter what. It just will come down to how I want to say this. It'll just come down to if I enjoy the game or not. Will I continue to play it practically? Do you think Cosmic Eclipse booster boxes is undervalued? No, I think it's very overvalued. And that's coming from someone who thinks Cosmic is one of the best sets of all time. I love Cosmic. I think it's an incredible set. With that being said, I think that booster boxes for it are extremely overvalued. I understand why they're at their price point. Like, it makes sense to me why they're priced roughly around the $525 price. But with that being said, I mean, I guess there was a small supply. Oh, that's hard, man, because then it goes back to team up and the supply and the scarcity of the product at all. I guess if you were to make an argument, I think it's priced appropriately for what it is. However, with that being said, I think when there is going to be a true market correction just in the hobby for a lot of this product, it will go down. But it's hard for me to say that it's over or undervalued at this point, really. I think it's appropriate, honestly. Probably keeps going up, too. Waifu cards are out of control as of late. Tell me something that isn't new. Oh, that's so funny. Target, he had them on another PokeTuber brother. He's a YouTube name. Go check it out. Interesting, Team Rocket. I'll definitely have to go check it out. Had it at Target. Yeah, because I went to Target the other day and I didn't find it myself. For me, is more like I'm from Europe and I would like to invest in booster boxes. Oh, really, CS Noob? So let me ask you this. Are you wanting to give me capital? Oh my god, that's an ingenious idea almost. Why hasn't anyone ever done that? So basically, CS Noob, I'm selling you Pokemon product in the United States, and then you're buying them in the United States. I'm storing them for you in the United States, and then whenever, I mean, that could be a good idea. The only fear is if, like, you would have to have a designated storage space for that. But that's not a bad business concept. If you're saying to yourself, hey, there's people in the UK that want to be able to buy product in the US for dirt cheap. How about I send you the money, give you a little bit of like a trader's fee for buying it for me. You store it for me, and then I pay a small, space fee for having you hold all the storage on that. But in the end of the day, it's going to be worth it for me because I'm going to be spending money getting the product for much cheaper. I mean, that's not a bad necessarily idea. Anyone else get faked out by the Pokemon display at Walmart? No celebration in my area. That's tough. What's the catalyst for out-of-print sets like Cosmic to go through price corrections? Not a ton, man. I mean, actually, that's hard to say, man, because take a look at, like, Jungle. I mean, it really comes down to how overpriced do you think it really is right now. Because, obviously, I'm saying it's appropriate based on what the market is telling us, but I think you could easily see a 10-20% correction, and that might not seem like a lot, but Cosmic going below $400 I think is appropriate. I think you could see more than that, but we have to be realistic with ourselves on what we actually think will the price go down to. Oh. Sorry guys, it was getting a trillion degrees in here. I had to turn the fan on. I mean, that's the main thing I would have to say in terms of what the catalyst could be. But I don't know, man. You never know with these markets. You could see it drop even farther than that. But sealed product tends to be safer because it is deflationary for a reason. FYI, my Charizard UPC shipped from Pokemon Center today. Just got an email. Heck yeah, Matthew. Shout out to you on that one. I could something like that, Pokemart. I'm also from Europe. I mean, if I literally did something like that, I would have to make it to where... Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Just get some insurance on it and you can easily do the storage. Well, at that point, the question is, how would I want to run the operation? Would I want to run the operation where I keep it in my own storage at my house and then I charge a monthly expense? What would that monthly expense be appropriate? Let me ask you this, Matthew, right? Or not Matthew, sorry. Let me ask you this question, Lysias. And this also will go for you as well, Noob. If I were to tell you that I could currently, right now, give you access to market prices for the United States, you don't have to pay for shipping on any of it because it's all going to be in the United States, and I could give you a storage space to be able to hold however much product you need, would you be willing to pay for a set rate per square foot monthly to hold your product? And I could calculate what that would look like per square foot. It would probably equate to what I'm basically paying for rent. So like, let's say for example, right? Let's say that I'm paying $2,000. Its rent is $2,000, right? And my house is $2,000. I'm paying $1 per square foot, in theory. And let's say that you're taking up 20 square feet for your storage. I would charge you $20 a month for rent just to keep it stored, and you're also able to keep that product specifically in an area that is going to be safe, it's going to be well ventilated, and you're buying it at a really good price because you're in the United States. Is that something someone would be interested in? Because that's not a bad idea. If that's something that people are up for it. You probably per cubic foot, something like that. I mean, like I said, it was just a rough explanation. I know, Pika, you're like, square foot, that's a lot. But yeah, I mean, you get the point that I'm making, though, I feel like. I don't think it would work. Could upset your distributor Pokemon for bypassing in their international distribution. Also, liability if the cards are messed up. Yeah, James, I mean, you could say there's an argument in terms of, like, liability. That would be the greatest concern. But honestly, James, my distro's not going to give a crap. As long as I'm buying product, distro doesn't give a crap, man. As long as I'm buying product from them and not leaking overall distro prices on the webpage, I don't see a problem with that. Cause per square foot could be stacking to the ceiling. Yeah, I know, I get what you're saying. Price per cubic foot, obviously. My bad. I know, it was a bad analogy, but I was just, I don't know. You get what I'm saying, though. Price per cubic. Have you ever considered doing cards you think are undervalued instead of products? Based off grades, I'm sure you wouldn't want to increase the price of any particular card, but I think you'd bring a lot to it. So are you talking if I did videos on if I thought cards were overvalued or not? I could do totally something like that. I buy a lot of product each month. Well, is that product you'd also want to flip as well? Because here's the issue, Lysias. At that point, too, am I then going to be selling that product, buying it at Pokemon prices in the US, and then selling it to people at Pokemon prices in the US? Or would you want me to have the responsibility of shipping that out to someone else internationally, and then I would just be in charge of storage? Because that makes it harder unless it's like a full-on just storage thing. I don't know. It's something to consider too. But yeah. But going back to your question, John, I've thought about doing something like that. We actually have a video series that we're in the process of creating in a Patreon, where we're going to be doing actually full breakdown discussions on what Pokemon products, Pokemon cards we think are undervalued. And I could potentially do that as some video ideas as far as a like explainer video on how to determine whether a card is undervalued or overvalued. Because the main videos that I'm going to be making for the Patreon when it does go live is it's going to be just straight up a full compiled updated list each and every month. It'll eventually be rolling weekly, but that's going to have data that we've collected to show you all the good opportunities for what we think is good to invest in / flip. So it's definitely something we've been looking into for a while now. It's just been in the works behind the curtain. Sorry, I'm typing on a stupid tablet. It makes my grammar go crap. You're all good, man. Hey, man, I was the one that gave the bad analogy. Over or under, I guess, just on your cards, just like your sealed videos. What do you mean over or under? Write it on the Discord, just hit me up after the stream when you got time. Yeah, no, for sure, man. I'll definitely hit you up. I think some build battle kits are great deals right now. Astral Radiance for like $34. May set beside Evolving Skies are at a steal. For build and battle kits, are you talking about build and battle stadiums? Or what do you mean build and battle kits? Which one's in reference? Could you ship international on your site? Some sites do, but I'd rather support you. Well, I mean, here's the deal, Lysias. Here's the problem. Are you looking for storage of Pokemon product at US prices? Or are you looking for... Man, how would I go about doing that? I feel like I would have to have a direct connection over in other countries where I would directly ship at some form of discounted price to you guys. And there would have to be some taxes that were implicit with that. I have some guys I can talk to actually that do international shipping, and I can see if that's something that's potential. Because there's just so many variables when it comes to that, especially when you talk about import and export fees. Apparently the Premier Balls that have C19 or Ancient Origins and D21s have Cosmic. A couple from... That's what we're talking about. C19. Yes, someone said they bought C19s earlier, and he kept saying it, and I didn't know what he meant by C19s. I had a feeling that's what it was in reference to, but... I mean, as long as you're getting D21s or C19s, those Premier Balls are must pick up, for sure. That's so much value if you're getting just at least the D21s. Because, like, with the D21s, you're getting Cosmic Packs with them, right? And Cosmic Packs are, how much are they going for now? Like $12? So, I mean, it pays for itself. Yeah, they're going for roughly around $13 almost. That's crazy. How's that not the play? Yes, I mean, build and battle stadiums have 12 packs in it essentially, and they're going for $34 a pop. I mean, if you're saying $34 a pop and you're doing 12, that's $283. I mean, at that point, man, you might as well buy a booster box. I don't know. Unless you're really trying to break down the bulk and make money off of that. But is the bulk at that point worth it for your time breaking it all up? I don't know. That's a hard one to say. And the investability with stadiums are... We've done videos talking about it, how it's not there. We're going to turn Eli into an eBay vault, right? I mean, you guys have so many ideas on what you want me to do. And I could totally do it. I mean, you guys have a lot of great ideas. I know that I've seen a lot of people message me directly about wanting to do middleman services. So that could be a full inclusive middleman service that I could offer. It would be like middleman would be like a storage facility. It would be like sending, product for you guys to get graded. It would be a full comprehensive trade facility where I can hold product in storage that people then could trade, and I would still keep it stored for them as a part of a long-term collection piece. Like, there's so many different ways you can get creative with it, you know? That's so funny. How much are the Evolving Skies build and battles, though? Last time I checked, they were at around $80. Let's take a look and see. So they're at... He's 75, yeah, around 75. So, I mean, what's the price been on him? It's slowly going up. So what, you're getting 12 packs, 75 bucks, 620. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. That's all I can say is it is tough. I guess we'll have to wait and see with that, though. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think you guys have a lot of creative ideas, and I think that I can do that as long as I can be creative myself and trying to figure out ways of how to do that. You know? That's what I think will be the biggest thing. But yeah, man, I gotta imagine that the C19s and the D21s, I don't see why that's not the new best pickup instead of the V-Boxes. Did the chat just die? Give me a second, guys. I think I'm having lag. I think something just happened to the chat here. TT says he's awesome from Europe and he would be interested too. Oh, I totally... yeah, of course I remember you, noob. Man, I'd have to see how we would run those. But Ryan says those are the correct elemental tins. So my question for you, Ryan, on that is when you say those are the correct elemental tins, and you're obviously making reference to the packs inside of them, right? You said, if I'm correct, that they have Ancient Origins, 2 Team Up, and a Lost Thunder. How... Here's the first question I have for you. How do you know if this is the reprint or not? That's my only great concern with this. Because obviously we can go click on Amazon and we can pick them up for 35 bucks. If you're getting those guaranteed tins, those are good prices, right? My fear is that you're not getting those tins. Also, why does it say price drop 21 bucks and then when I click on it, it's just 35? It's kind of deceiving. Hey Eli, if you remember me, I know I disappeared for a while, but it's been a while. Just been here lurking and down low. Of course I totally remember you, that one guy. And it's always nice to see you again, as always, man. I definitely appreciate you saying hi. Dude, I remember everyone that's a part of it. There's so many people, I would say, that I know that have kind of, whether it be lurked or just don't come anymore, and I'm like, man, I miss those people. So of course I remember you. It's good to see you. Those 4 tin packs from Costco for $65 can now be bought at Costco's website for $67.50. Order $4, $270 has $30 off when you buy 4. Those are the evolution tin. No, those are great values, RD. I would 100% agree with that. Boom, they ship to you. You list them on your website, consignment or storage after a certain time. I mean, it's definitely an idea, John Boy. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely something that could be. It's definitely something I think you can do. You just have to do it right. And I would have to figure out how I would structure that. Because I feel like I'd want to do it right, you know? Like I said before, I do have a bunch of Gorilla Racks that I could take them and appropriately organize them, and I could protect them, and I could put them in an area that I think would be good for storage. The question, of course, then becomes, is it specifically storage? Like, what is the overall, what is it that people are more or less looking for in that regard, you know? I feel like there's a lot of factors at play with it, you know? But yeah, I mean, it could totally play into consignment. Bro, my back is destroyed right now. I am struggling. Keep leaning forward and not using the back for the chair. And it's wrecking me. I've been watching for you about a year, and I just want to give another thanks. I've made many good decisions for what I've learned watching for you. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that, man. It's always good to hear. I'm glad you've made good decisions. That's what I always like to hear, is that people feel as if they've changed their mentality in the way in which they invest in things, or have taken opportunities that I've mentioned and have made a ton of money off of it. That's what I love to hear. But yeah, man, if you can get these OG tins, I mean, look, Mercari, get the original 3 for $30 a pop. But do we know if it's the original 3? Plus shipping, obviously. Insurance would be an issue too. I guess probably would need one policy type for the business, one similar to storage places. Yeah, well, that would obviously have to be calculated into it, you know? Delta, that's a great opportunity that you got it for that. Patrick, that's so funny. No, dude, I mean, people are making fun of me for it for obvious reasons. Don't feel bad, man. It's you know, it's whatever. It's funny. Did the XY Euro usually have bad print quality? I think about opening some packs for future from Era. Oh yeah, they had terrible print quality. I mean, I know that we've done a couple of XY Era breaks before, and I was like, whoa, this kind of sucks in terms of quality for some of the cards. So definitely, when we start to infiltrate with one person, the Pokemon production and product planning team, that we get some insane links for reprints. That would be funny. Be nice to get connections like that. Once they buy, it's no longer store inventory, James says. Yeah, I mean, you would have to look at that from a legalistic perspective, how you'd be able to find the most appropriate way of doing that. I mean, obviously there's a ton of concerns. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if you can find workarounds. That's something I would have to look into, because it's a cool idea, in theory at least. Question is, how would you apply that business insurance monthly, and what would that be valued on? Bro, I don't understand how these bots are constantly coming in and out. Is Tinder hot your product partner? Bro, you didn't know that? I keep saying I'm banning them, but in reality, they've actually been product partners for a while now. I might honestly open a Sun Moon Era instead then. From my experience, that Era has been better print quality. Yeah, I've had a really good experience opening Sun Moon Era. I would say honestly it's one of the best printed eras from personal experience at least. The only time I really had XY or Sun and Moon Era issues was Burning Shadows was atrocious. Burning Shadows is one I'd stay away from. But XY Evolutions, I've had pretty good print quality other than the Charizard, obviously. But that's XY Evolutions, so that's completely different. But we're talking back in XY. Sun and Moon Era, I mean, majority of the newer Sun and Moon Eras have had awesome print quality, like, you know, Cosmic and Unified and Unbroken. It's entirely possible, Mother Superior, that it'll definitely take years. I mean, I have no doubt of that. It's not going to be instantaneous as much as people like it to be. I'll take the top right spot on the shelf behind you. Oh, TT is like, I want my product displayed right in your room. Give me the premium spot. That's so funny, TT. I don't know. I came for the Pokemon, but stayed for the sexy chatbots, Patrick says. That's so funny, dude. Oh, you know? Ain't that what we all stay for, man? God, dude, I'm struggling right now. One thing that's also interesting for those of you guys that have been watching the market, Vivid Voltage recently. Vivid Voltage has been recently dropping in price for booster boxes. I'm curious what's going on with that. I don't know why, but it's down to 125. Wow, I was seeing recently buying EV Heroes boxes at 130 and just saw eBay last sold. So are you implying that the prices have dropped in that regard, John Doe? Is that what you're more or less saying with that? Oh, sold for 225. Wow, for some reason I did not see that one. They're selling for 225 already? Jesus loves me, dude. That's incredible. Wow, that's insane, honestly. Japanese demand is just on a different level right now, guys. That's all I can say to that. Holiday calendars resell for $74? Why? How much is the MSRP for this? 50? Yeah, their 50 is the MSRP for them. People are paying $75. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Celebrations Center exclusive have also been going sideways for a little bit. It's interesting to see. Look at how low the Pokemon Go Elite Trainer boxes are dropping. It's crazy to me. Such a good opportunity. Did you buy the Japanese stamp box? Is any person here knowing what the actual price is of the market? As it is $350, $400 in Europe. I have not bought it, so I can't tell you what the actual price is, but I guarantee you someone in here can. So we do have a lot of people that do discuss the pricing on it. I'm stuck between waiting to try and get a Charizard UPC or open Big Silver Tempest and keeping it sealed product. Delta, I'm telling you, man, you're going to have so many opportunities to get the Charizard UPC. I'd be stunned if you haven't, as we've had the majority of people in this chat, let alone that follow the channel, that have had the opportunity. The EV Gym Box is also performing insanely well. I remember buying it a month ago for $300. I mean, Japanese product in general, man, has just kind of been popping. That's the thing. A lot of the specialty boxes for Japan has been doing well. Obviously, anything related to EV Heroes has been doing well in the set. It's just Japanese product is just... it's crazy right now. I mean, wouldn't there be an argument to say that it's actually been doing better in Japan than the US? I don't know. You got yours for $135. Jesus loves me. That's so insane to me. What's up, guy? Positive vibes. Good to see you here, Corey. Thanks for stopping by, brother. EV Heroes is going to pick up. Japan prints are ahead of the US and not expecting another print, but US is behind and Evolving will get another print. That's what we would like to think, John Doe. That is the expectation here. And based off of what history has told us, when was the time we got an... Here's the question. When did we get our last... And let's actually go take a look at this. Because I talked about this in a video a while ago. But when did we really start to see the price corrections happen? Let's say for Chilling Reign. When did its next wave come out? That was ultra delayed. We gotta go to sealed product on this. That is not Chilling Reign. Do I have to re-look it up because it's not popping? By the way, how do you know if it's an alt art? I'm confused by your question, Corey. Are you asking what an alt art card is? But let's go look at history and see what history told us in terms of the print. So correction started happening near the end of October. And if we're thinking about this the same way, the overall product reprints happened roughly around the same time, and Fusion Strike. When did Fusion come out? It came out on the 8th? Or was it the 11th? It was the 12th. So in theory, we should hopefully say some more booster box reprints coming in the future. That's what I would like to believe, right? Yeah, please let us know, Ricky. About a year ago, those gym boxes selling for $800 is kind of ridiculous. Really shows how high demand EV products are. Seriously, dude. Now, how do you know if you pull an alt art? I mean, in terms of rarity, I mean, it's pretty easy to know what an alt art is. It's just the art design itself. That's the thing. Is it it comes to the alt art, it's really hard for me to explain what an alt art is because you'll know when you see it. Like if I were to go to, I don't know, let's say Lost Origin, right? An alt art is designed as an alternative art. So there's like an artwork going on in the background. For example, Giratina, this is just a golden Giratina. It's a gold star Giratina. Gudra V-Star, this is just a V-Star that has Gudra and there's nothing going on in the background. It just shows the full figure. This is a full art because it shows the full body of the Pokemon Giratina itself, which is what makes it a full art. And then an alternate art is it shows the full body of the Pokemon, but it shows it in a way that has an artistic design to it. So alt art is just short for alternate art, and alternate art meaning that it has a cool design in the back. That's the best way to explain it, I would say. But yeah, it's funny, man. You don't get asked that question a lot. But hey, nothing wrong with it, man. If you're new to the hobby, welcome. Dude, Umbreon's going for $500. Umbreon's pushing $500, guys. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That's nice and snazzy. Alright, so we are down to the witching hour, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to wrap it up here in the next couple of minutes. As always, if you haven't already, I would kindly ask if you could leave a like or just subscribe to the YouTube channel, either or. Just want to thank once, as always, you all for stopping by. If you have any last questions, please, please, please let me know, as I would love to answer any and all of your guys' questions. Whoopsie, did not mean for it to pull up there. How do you think VMAX Climax is going to do in the next few months? I mean, it's hard to say what it's going to do in the next few months, ST, because it really just comes down to how the market in general is going to be. However, with that being said, if we look at the history of how VMAX Climax has performed, it's performed extremely well. So the presumption would be it would go up. I'm going to say it's going to do well, but I couldn't give you an exact number of how much. Obviously, at its low with the reprint, we saw it go to $50. And sometimes even lower than that, but it started to climb. So the Patreon needs into clips. Or did you mean intro? Or what do you mean by into? Umbreon makes me want to open my phone. Definitely don't. That's about the only thing you're gonna get that's gonna give you value to it. That and the Rayquaza. No Delta. Do you both sub and like? You hate on puppies. You tell him, Travis. I literally just pulled the Arceus V Altar from Brilliant Star yesterday from a random tin. I don't open booster boxes for sets, so I'm not familiar with it. But when I pulled it, that's sick, Ricky. Shout out to you on that, man. I knew it was an Altar, he said. How do I get to have as much Pokemon knowledge as you? You do this for a living. I don't know, man. I mean, it really comes down to all of my background knowledge in terms of just economics and investing. And then what do? I go and spend hours staring at a freaking screen that shows me all the data having to do with correlated market trends in Pokemon. And then think about it too. For the past 2 years now, I've been just doing basic, analysis. And then for the past year or so, I've been doing basic market trend videos, and so it's like every single day it just becomes repetitive to the point of where I'm pretty much dialed in the market. I already was pretty knowledgeable prior to that, having been in the hobby for a while, but in terms of my overall, correlating the two, having learned a lot working with distro and seeing prices and seeing correlations and seeing history, especially now knowing more of the ins and outs, being so much more involved, it's allowed me to kind of just recognize things that you don't really see a lot of people talk about every day. Yeah, thanks for all the advice. Really really helps pointing me out to the right direction. No problem, brother. Could the Arceus UPC be underrated by right now, being less printed than the Charizard? I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, isn't it currently on the front page? I know it's somewhere on one of the top pages for best-selling, if I'm correct. Or at least I thought it was. Maybe not. Let's take a look. The Arceus V-Star Premium Collection is selling for that much right now? How much was this selling for on Amazon? So wasn't this an Amazon exclusive box? You can buy it right now for 60 bucks on Amazon, and you can resell it for how much more? Why are people not doing that? That seems like a missed opportunity. It's kind of dumb. V-Star Ultra Premium Sword and Shield boxes. Where's this even going? Is this an exclusive as well? It's crazy it's selling for that much. It's entirely possible that, yeah, it could totally be a really good investment opportunity. No, John. I think that's a good point. It's definitely going to be underprinted considering no one cares about it. But, I mean, the price is super high, so people obviously have to care about it to some extent. John Boy. Any economy vids or books that you recommend? Oh, God. It's a hard one, man, to recommend economic books. I would say that it's hard for me to point you in the direction of understanding. I mean, it's hard because there's so many different emphasis on micro versus macro when you're talking about different forms of understanding in economics, and I think both are really important. I think anything related to readings of Thomas Sowell, I highly recommend. I mean, here I can just do. I can just give you references to some of his most popular ones, but most of his economic books, specifically The Basics of Economics, I think is a really good book. Economics, Facts and Fallacies is a really good one. I mean, he's just a common day intellectual in my personal opinion, and I think Thomas Sowell is not talked about a lot personally from an economics perspective. You can think about however you want to think about him in terms of his political perspective, but in terms of his economics perspective, the man's been extremely spot on in a lot of regards. So I would recommend him when talking about a lot of macro mainly, but in microeconomics, that's hard. You don't really see a lot of microeconomic theory being discussed in high regards. Most people are more macro, unless you're talking about like general how to be good with money investment videos. So it's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard. But I'm going to answer one or two last questions and then we'll wrap it up here. The Arceus Ultra Premium TCG said $200 when you could buy for $100 at exclusive at GameStop. That's the Ultra Premium is $100 at GameStop? Jesus loves me. Why not Bro, these Tinders bots are incredibly needy today. I did not know that you could only... Wow, that's crazy. I'll have to look that up and I'll look more into it, but we've already gone a little bit over time here, guys, so I'll probably just have to wrap it up here. But I wanted to, as always, thank everyone so much for stopping by. My name is Eli with Pokémon USA. Can't thank you guys once again for the love and support. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, make sure to join the Discord if you want to be a part of the discussion and get updates and access to any of the sort of leaks or information we know when we put it in the deals channel. And then finally, as always, we have our Pokemon USA mystery prize packs, which we are going to release relatively soon here, and increased odds of now 1 in 16 instead of 1 in 25 for gold. As always as well, mentioned many times before, I purposely weigh the packs in your favor so you also have a really good opportunity of getting a heavy gold or silver pack, main which being the power key.